What's going on, everybody? Matt here. I'm going to give you guys a breakdown of the first full slate of bowl games, which is this Saturday, December 17th. We've got some incredible games on here. We're going to go through all of them. I give you guys some quick hitting betting advice to the best of my ability. I will also add in that Chris Moxley gave me a ton of information for this, but he is out sick, and we wanted to get you guys this information. So we're going to kick it off with Cincinnati at Louisville. Louisville has now moved up to being given 2 points here, which is extremely interesting because Malik Cunningham and Scott Satterfield are out. Malik Cunningham has opted out. Scott Satterfield is now technically coaching for Cincinnati. He will not be on the sideline for Louisville. And while Cincinnati did lose head coach Luke Fickell, they still have most of their coaching staff intact. And they also have Evan Prater there, who has, not been great, but he does bring a better element at the offensive side of things for Cincinnati than Louisville does losing Malik Cunningham. Louisville is ranked 100th in rushing explosiveness and 75th in defensive line yards. Prater had 107 rushing yards in just 2 games. I think he is going to be the difference maker here. Play Cincinnati with the 2 points, and I honestly think play the Cincinnati money line. You're getting 105 on that bad boy because I do think Cincinnati ends up coming away the victors here. Play that money line for Cincinnati. Next up, I think this is going to be a really intriguing bowl game here. Florida versus Oregon State. Now, I wish Anthony Richardson was still playing in this one, as Oregon is ranked number 14, and they are getting 10 points here. I like Oregon State a lot in this matchup, and that defense is why they are extremely good. They currently sit right now with 16th in passing explosiveness. They had 2 secondary members on the all Pac-12 first team, and they have a 63% early down success rate, which is 22nd in the country. They're also now going to be going up against Jack Miller. As Anthony Richardson opts out and heads to the NFL, Jack Miller has thrown 14 career college passes so far. It's not looking great for him right now, and he is going up against a very, very good defense. And on top of that, Florida's rushing defense is honestly bad. They're 121st in rushing success rate and 116th in rushing explosiveness. Now, why does that necessarily matter in talking about the Florida's defense? Well, because they're going up against a true freshman running back in Damian Martinez for Oregon State, who has been phenomenal this year. Reports are that he is healthy and he is going to be back and he is going to be playing. Now, I do think that this game could go under as the total game under, because I expect a lot of running from Oregon State side with Damian Martinez and honestly Florida side with Trevor Etienne. I don't know that they're really going to trust to throw Jack Miller III out there to just throw the ball all over the place. So with all that being said, play Oregon. Take the 10. I think they're going to beat them by at least 2 touchdowns. Take the under at 52.5 on the game total. And honestly, if you're feeling a little bit spicy here, take the Florida team total under as well in this one. Next up, another really intriguing game. Cam Ward and the Washington State Cougars going up against the Fresno State Fighting Jake Hainers in his last game. Fresno State favored by 3 in this one, and I believe is actually moved up to 3.5, which it should be very, very intriguing. I don't even know how to explain this one. We're going to start with the Washington State side of things, and I think this is going to become a theme throughout the entire bowl season. Their entire wide receiver room has practically entered the transfer portal. Now, Washington State does still have Renard Bell there, but he is injured and he will not be playing in this game. And why does that matter? Because they rank first right now in neutral script pass rate at 73%. So they're throwing the ball a ton. The problem with that is they have nobody to pass the ball to. On top of that, while he was already, this is before he even lost his weapons, that offense wasn't that explosive. 57th in EPA per play, but the number 1 team in neutral pass script rate. Like, they're throwing the ball a ton. They're not really going deep. If you've watched games, Felix has talked about how Cam Ward is like this, trying to catch a squirrel in the backfield with how elusive he is, but he's not going down the field deep. He's throwing in the short intermediate areas. They're just not getting big chunk plays. Now, why does that matter? Because Fresno State's defense is really good. They are legit. 27th in EPA per play and 23rd in pass success rate. On top of that, I think they are going to show out, as this is Jake Haener's final game. This dude has come in and he has been phenomenal for them the past couple seasons. And I think he definitely wants to go out on a high note. And this offense has been substantially better with Haener under center. Since returning from injury, they went from 117th in EPA per play down to 37th with him, and down they are an elite team with 11% success rate, which is not hitting any explosive plays here. The play is to play Fresno minus the 3. I know that, Cam Ward and Washington State is probably the sexier team, but again, he has nobody to throw the ball to. I don't know that Nakia Watson is going to be able to get it going here against this Fresno State defense. Fresno State, right now, with the players they have in Jake Haener's final game, I think Fresno State is the play, as does Chris Moxley. Next up, look, guys, I'm going to watch this game. There's going to be some NFL games going on as well. This might be one of the worst ones of this bowl day on Saturday, and that is the Rice Owls going up against Southern Miss. Now, Southern Miss is getting 6.5 here. There's really not much else to say about this game. Rice is bad, like really, really bad. Offensively, they were 100th in EPA per pass attempt and 62nd in EPA per rush. 99th in points per opportunity and 122nd in points per quality possession. They are just bad. Luke McCaffrey is likely out in this game. It hasn't been determined. It's looking like it's leaning that way. Even if he does play, I don't think that they're going to be able to do anything. This defense is bad as well, 120th in EPA per pass. Now, granted, Southern Miss is not some explosive offense, but Will Hall has actually been really good with this team so far this year, and they've taken a step forward. They're 23rd in EPA per play and 24th in success rate. They are also one of the more consistent and efficient passing attacks, as they are 34th in passing EPA per play. I think that they're going to get the win here. Play them at 6.5 or any number under a touchdown, which should be good value for Southern Miss. They should win this one. Next up, BYU versus SMU is going to be a very intriguing game, mostly because we haven't had confirmed who is going to be in or out yet for BYU. Might end up having to call this the opt-out bowl, as BYU might have a ton of players who are in and out. Right now, SMU is getting 5.5. Moving on over to the BYU side, as I mentioned, the entire offense here is a serious question in opting out. Now, it does sound, at least at the time of the recording of this video, that Jaren Hall might play in this game. If he does, that is huge news for BYU, as when he is healthy, they are 6th in offensive explosiveness with a top 15 passing offense in both EPA per play and success rate. So if Jaren Hall's in, BYU is going to be the play here, and I think BYU is going to go in and have a good day because SMU's defense is not good. Now, their offense is ranked 24th in EPA per pass play, 14th in points per drive. Without Rice, this offense should be able to put up points, as BYU's defense is ranked 126th in EPA per play and 118th in passing success rate. That all being said, as I mentioned, SMU's defense is atrocious. 93rd in defensive explosiveness and 112th in passing explosiveness. Now, if Jaren Hall is out, SMU is the play here. You'd probably want to stay away from this game altogether if you can. But if you want to play one, play BYU if Jaren Hall and the offense are playing. Play SMU if they're out, if you really want to have some money in this game. But I would suggest avoiding this game altogether. Last but not least, the late night game, North Texas at Boise State. Boise State is getting 10.5 in this one. Should be a very intriguing game, but North Texas is kind of down bad at the moment. They fired their head coach, and the offense has just been bad. They've underperformed in the last 3 straight games, including a near loss to Rice, who were 14.5 favorites. They had extensive injuries in the conference championship game versus UTSA, losing 4 of their running backs and potentially 2 of their starting linemen. On top of that, they have a bad rush defense, 118th in rush EPA per play. That matters because Boise State is a run-heavy offense. That's what they do. They have the 25th in neutral game script in rushing offense, and they are very successful at it. Their defense on top of that might hold UNT scoreless, as they are a very good defense as well. Their rushing game, as I said, for a G5 team, has been great. Over 200 yards in the past 6 games. Holani and Ashton Gianti are an elite duo, and while both are slightly banged up, they should be able to play in this game. Boise's D is 2nd in EPA per pass and 31st in EPA per rush. They had a couple selections in the All-Mountain West conference, and 3 All-MAC West selections on the front 7. They have been limiting opponents to 1.62 net points per drive, which is 12th in the country. This is a very good defense, especially when you talk about them being in the Mountain West. And let's just be honest, most of those teams are better than what North Texas is playing every single week. I think North Texas is really going to struggle in this one. They might even struggle to put up points. So that is why you are playing Boise with 9.5. You're playing the over on the Boise team total. And honestly, I think you're playing the under on the North Texas team total. All right, guys, that's going to do it for Saturday, December 17th, Bowl Game Mania here. We're going to be coming to you every single day with these, so make sure you play them. Going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of great bowl games, and we're just kicking it off. Friday, we got Miami of Ohio going, and we have UAB going, Troy versus UTSA as well. Should be a lot of fun. Make sure to stay locked into CampusToCanton.com and the Campus to Canton YouTube page for all of your betting advice. Hit the like button, subscribe to the video, turn that bell icon on so you don't miss any of these. Chris Moxley will be here next week with me as we're going to start splitting all these up. We'll have videos dropping daily to help you put in bets on all these bowl games. Everybody have yourselves a great day.